You ever wake up thinking it's just going to be a normal day and then realize you're about to start a war you never asked for? That's what happened the morning I found a silver SUV parked across my driveway, blocking me in like I didn't even exist. And the best part, the owner was none other than Karen, the self-appointed queen of our HOA, sitting by the community pool, sipping lemonade, acting like she ran the entire neighborhood. At first I thought maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she just stopped for a second. But nope, there she was, stretched out on a lounge chair, her car blocking my only way out with her little HOA president badge hanging from the rearview mirror like it gave her diplomatic immunity. I walked over, tried to keep my cool. "Hey Karen, your car's blocking my driveway." She didn't even look guilty, just slid her sunglasses up, stared at me and said, "I'm the HOA president. I can park wherever I need to for official business." Official business, lady. You're not the FBI. You're running a Facebook group with a clipboard. I told her I needed to leave for work, trying to keep my voice steady. She smirked and said, "You should have planned ahead. We all have responsibilities." I stood there for a few seconds, wondering if I'd entered some alternate universe where arrogance was a job qualification. Finally, I just turned around and went back home. I gave her the benefit of the doubt for 10 minutes, then 20, then an hour. Still no sign of movement. So I took photos. Her car, the license plate, the badge, everything. I even made a short video narrating like a fed-up nature documentary host. And here we have the rare HOA Karen blocking private property in the wild suburbs of America. After 2 hours of waiting, my patience officially left the building. I called the non-emergency police line. The dispatcher actually chuckled and said, "You're the 5th HOA complaint this week." 10 minutes later, a patrol car rolled in. 2 officers got out, looked at her car, looked at me, and one of them said, "She seriously parked like this?" I nodded. They went to the pool gate and called out her name. Karen strutted over like she was walking the red carpet. "Yes, officers, I'm the HOA president. What seems to be the issue?" Her tone alone could curdle milk. The officer replied calmly, "Ma'am, you're parked illegally across a private driveway." She gasped like they'd accused her of treason. "Excuse me, I have authority here. I was conducting official business." The cop raised an eyebrow. "Official business doesn't override parking laws." She started lecturing them about community standards and property value preservation until one officer cut her off. "Ma'am, if you don't move your vehicle, we'll have to tow it." She folded her arms. "Go ahead. You wouldn't dare." Oh, she really said it out loud. The officer gave her one last warning. She refused. He radioed for the tow truck. 10 minutes later, the rumble of justice echoed through the street as the truck pulled up, massive, loud, glorious. The entire neighborhood peeked through their blinds. Karen's face went from smug to ghostly white. She ran toward her car, yelling, "You can't do this. I'm the HOA president." The cop didn't even flinch. "And I'm the police. Move, please." She tried to argue, waving her badge like it was a magic wand, until the officer said, "Ma'am, if you don't step out, you'll be obstructing a police order." Her jaw dropped so hard I swear it cracked the pavement. She climbed out, muttering about calling her lawyer. The truck driver began hooking her wheels. When that SUV lifted off the ground, it was like the entire street exhaled. People were watering their lawns just to watch. I swear even the birds were chirping louder. Karen glared at me, eyes burning holes in my soul, and hissed, "You'll regret this. The HOA doesn't forget." I smiled. Neither does the law. I thought that was the end of it. Oh, I was wrong. The next morning I found a bright yellow notice taped to my door. A $250 fine from the HOA for harassment of an HOA official. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my coffee. Harassment. For calling the cops. Okay, Karen, game on. I brewed another cup, sat down, and typed the most professional email of my life. Attached all the photos, the police report, the video. The subject line read, "Official response to false HOA fine." I wrote, "Dear Board, your president illegally parked across my driveway and was cited by law enforcement. Any further fines will be considered harassment and reported to authorities." Then I hit send. A few hours later, I saw Karen stomping around the neighborhood, waving her phone like a sword, shouting loud enough for the whole block to hear. He's threatening me. He's trying to undermine the HOA. A neighbor whispered, "Isn't she the one who got towed yesterday?" Gossip spread faster than Wi-Fi. By that afternoon, I got another email, this time from a different board member named Linda. She said, "We've reviewed your documentation. The fine has been canceled. We apologize for the misunderstanding." Translation: Karen tried to abuse her power, and even her own board wasn't having it. You'd think that'd be the end. But no. If spite was gasoline, Karen could power a rocket. 2 days later, I saw a little HOA flag stuck in my lawn. It said, "Grass exceeds HOA length standards." My lawn looked like a golf course. I looked up and saw Karen across the street with a clipboard pretending to inspect another house. We locked eyes. She smiled fake cold and walked off. That night I set up my security camera. The next morning, another violation notice. Trash bins visible from street. Except my bins were inside the garage. I checked the footage, and there she was. Karen, in her robe and slippers, sneaking across my yard at 11:47 p.m., planting that flag like she was on some covert HOA mission. I couldn't even be mad. It was too ridiculous. I sent the video to the board. Linda replied within an hour, "We'll handle this internally." That afternoon, I saw 3 board members standing in front of Karen's house, arms crossed, arguing. She was pointing, shouting. Then a police car pulled up again. Turns out another neighbor caught her doing the same thing, sneaking around planting fake violations in the middle of the night. When the officer told her to stop trespassing, she tried to pull the same "I'm the HOA president" card. The cop sighed. "Ma'am, being HOA president doesn't make you law enforcement." The footage spread like wildfire on our local Facebook group. Someone nicknamed her Inspector Karen. Another guy called her the Yard Yeti. Even the local tow company shared the video with the caption, "We know this lady." She became the neighborhood meme. The same woman who tried to control everyone had turned into the punchline. I wish I could say I felt sorry for her, but then came the final straw. A few days later, she left another letter on my door. This time handwritten in dramatic red ink. "Failure to comply with HOA cooperation standards will result in escalation." Escalation. I almost laughed, but then I stopped. I realized she wasn't just being annoying anymore, she was crossing legal lines, trespassing, falsifying notices, harassment. And that's when I hit my low point. I sat there staring at the letter, wondering if I should just let it go, move away, sell the house. Was I turning this into something bigger than it needed to be? Was I just feeding the fire? But then I remembered the video, the police reports, the neighbors who'd been bullied by her for years. It wasn't just about me anymore. So I decided to fight back the right way. I called the HOA's management company the people above the board. I sent everything, every photo, every report, every video. The guy on the phone went quiet halfway through. Then he said, "Sir, this is serious. We'll contact the board immediately." I could hear it in his voice. He realized their HOA president was a walking lawsuit waiting to happen. A week later, I got a call from the same officer who'd handled the first tow. "Just a heads up," he said, "we're following up on a new trespassing complaint involving your HOA president. You'll probably see us in the neighborhood again." I almost choked on my coffee. "Karen again?" He laughed. "Yeah. She tried to issue a violation to a police officer's wife." That afternoon, I sat on my porch watching the greatest show in town, Karen's Meltdown. She was pacing up and down the street, waving papers, shouting about defamation and lawsuits. And then, as if karma was scripting the scene herself, a police cruiser turned the corner. Right behind it, a tow truck. The same one. Karen froze. "What's going on?" "You can't tow me again." The officer stepped out calm as ever. "Ma'am, your vehicle is illegally parked on community property again." She started screaming, "I am the HOA." The tow truck driver leaned out his window and grinned. "Yeah, and I'm the tow god." The whole street erupted in laughter. Kids, parents, even old Mr. Jenkins across the street, who never left his porch. Karen went full meltdown, shouting, pacing, calling her lawyer, her husband, probably her therapist. But it didn't matter. The truck hooked her SUV and drove off into the sunset again. That night, the HOA sent an emergency email leadership change announcement. Karen was officially removed as HOA president. The board apologized for any distress caused by recent events. In other words, her reign of terror was over. A few days later, the management company sent me a letter thanking me for providing documentation. They said they'd forwarded a formal complaint to the Regional Oversight Committee for HOA misconduct. Translation: Karen was under investigation. A month after that, I saw her one last time driving through the neighborhood in an old beat-up sedan. No badge, no clipboard, no authority. She didn't even make eye contact, just kept her head down. And for the first time in months, my driveway was clear. My lawn was peaceful, and the air felt lighter. Sometimes karma doesn't need a grand finale. Just a tow truck, a police escort, and one very persistent neighbor who refuses to back down.